I'm delighted to be joined here today by David Jackson from the cabling company. Welcome, David.
Hi, Doug. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Good, thank you. Very good.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us today. Today, we're going to be talking about the cabling company. So, firstly, can you just tell us who the cabling company are and how partners fit into your go-to-market?
Yeah, absolutely. So the cabling company is now 13 years old, when I formed the company. But I've been in the IT industry for 36 years. So know the IT industry from selling hardware through to what we do now, which is designing and installing data cabling and wireless networks for businesses. Um, we wanted to go out and meet more channel partners. So the idea of the video is to introduce ourselves to more partners. We've got a really good network of channel partners as it stands. We do some really good work. We've done many projects, from small projects to multi-site projects and European projects for our partners as well. So yeah, we cover any service that's wrapped around data cabling and Wi-Fi.
Ah, brilliant. That's a great intro. And just talking before the call, I understand you've got several USPs that are compelling reasons why a partner might want to work with the cabling company. So let's take those USPs one by one. So the first one is attention to detail. So can you tell us more about that USP?
Yeah, absolutely. So we invest in training on the latest standards for all of our staff. So it really does make a difference out there, because there are a lot of other people. They might be cabling companies, they might be electricians, they might be IT resellers, VARs, MSPs that actually got engineers putting in cabling and don't understand the latest standards. So we put a lot of effort into training, investment in training with staff, and our engineers as well. So it's really important that all of our touch points, so from the directors to the operations to project managers to engineers, have that knowledge. So that means that when we're not only pricing the jobs up, but the engineers can go out and speak to the end users and also our channel partners in a very professional manner with the up-to-date information that everyone needs.
And the second USP, the free site survey, that is obviously a big one. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So it leads on the back of what we have our own project managers employed by the business, and we have 150 engineers based in 15 locations across the UK. So we would probably say about 130 experienced staff can go out and carry out site surveys across the UK. That's really critical, because um, where the engineers and the project managers are based means we're not traveling from Bournemouth to Scotland, for example, to do a survey. There's more cost for the customer. We can react quicker, not only on the survey, but also the installation. We find a lot of channel partners had existing relationships with friends of friends. They're small business, small installation companies that doing an okay job. But when it comes to having multiple jobs at the same time, they might be based locally to the channel partner or locally to London, maybe, and they get a lot of work in Manchester. All of a sudden, that existing partnership they have can't actually function very well and facilitate the growth that our channel partners are looking at.
So yeah, and the third USP is knowledge of standards. So why is that important?
Well, the third one is really the attention to detail. So it links to the standards, as you just said. So we find a USP for ourselves is that our quotations that go out to our partners are very much more detailed than what they used to being seen. They've been used to seeing one page quotations that don't offer any detail, how to do the work, the caveats, the assumptions. And actually, the way we work is the documents that we put together effectively within reason sell themselves, because when it gets sent to an end user, they immediately say, well, if they're going to go to that detail at the quote stage, they're going to be very detailed in the installation stage. One of the ones that stands out for me is that we actually were more expensive on a job in for an accountant in Manchester, and we were £38,000 more expensive than the other company. But actually, the IT director signed it off because we went to the detail on the survey. We had a 33-page document instead of a one-page spreadsheet document. and yeah, they signed it off, and they were very, very happy with the installation, and the network is outperforming, which is really a really big point here, that channel partners, MSPs, are all selling the latest hardware. Unfortunately, a lot of them don't actually realize what cabling that hardware needs to sit on. And that's where we come in. So they might be selling a multi-million pound, wireless installation with switching and access points and everything else like that. If they sell it and it doesn't work properly, then they've got a problem. Whereas if they get us involved early doors, that means that the customer's investment in that hardware is, fulfilled, because the cabling will be correct for it. So yeah,
Mm.
it's really, really important that attention to detail and standards are really important to our business, and a massive USP, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for that, David. And what about your plans for 2026, your growth plans, but also your priorities?
Um, growth is really where our target for growth is 20%. But unlike a lot of channel partners, it's 20% profit, not 20% revenue. So with 150 engineers, we can do multiple jobs at the same time, which can bring in the right amount of revenue for any business. However, for me as a business, it's all based around the right profit margins. And it's an interesting point, because with our channel partners, we're looking at an average of 10 to 15% margin for those channel partners on our jobs, which is a great added bonus to an already half decent margin. I'm not saying they don't really work on small margins, but if they added 10 to 15% on a lot of work that they're missing out on, that could actually have a massive impact on their growth in 2026. So yeah, it really is about retaining increasing the profit, increasing channel partners who we deal with, because there are a lot out there. I think you said you've got something like 8,000 partners subscribed to your email and website. Well, we deal with a fraction of those, and I certainly know that there's a lot of other partners out there that we could be dealing with, and helping them grow in the same way as we're growing.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, there's a government survey last year that said there were 11,000 and something MSPs in the UK. Um, a few
Uh,
eyebrows raised over some of the figures in it, but it was a good kind of ballpark figure.
One thing to pick up on
Yeah.
that, Doug, what I would say is really important to get out to channel partners is we work with some of the biggest channel partners in Europe. That doesn't mean to say that they're the best ones to work for. I've worked in and been a sales director of many VARs that are 1 to 10 million turnover. So we work with any size VAR. At the end of the day, or MSP, at the end of the day, regardless of the size, we just want to work with them and do the right job. So I would say to any MSP or VAR reseller, if you're interested in our services, reach out, because we can definitely add margin and help you grow.
Oh, brilliant. That's great advice. Thanks, David. Well, what a great note to end it on. So, thank you for your time today. Really good to chat to you.
No problem at all. Thank you.